going on, y'all? Just a quick little check-in here. It's nice to have these like systems in place. So even when, it feels like you're short on time, or, you might be in a rush or whatever, you got things to do, whatever, you still got things in place so you can still be consistent with the things that you know that are important for you to be consistent with. That's been a big theme lately of just having, not that you have to commit yourself to all these different things, but just having the very few staples, the few anchors, as I like to call them, in your life, so that regardless of what's going on, you still know that you can show up to the things that are going to keep you moving in the direction that you want to be moving in, and just keep you moving along the current of the river that you're flowing in, that is ultimately heading to the ocean. Whether you try to stop it or not, it's all going to the same place. But that's been a big thing for me is, like making these videos and these podcasts and creating music and writing and coaching and training. And really, like those, it was like 5 things I just named off, like those few things that I know if I can stay consistent with those things, that it really doesn't really matter what else goes on, because those are things that are, for me, are anchors that hold everything else together. And if you do it right, those are the things that, if you do those, that it makes all those other things almost irrelevant, or they end up taking care of themselves. And I ended up, I'm recording this in end of February here, and last December I kind of went through a period where I intentionally just let everything go, because I wanted to see what held together and what fell apart if I just allowed myself to not try to hold everything together. Because, we have these ideas about all the things that we think that we should be doing. And a lot of times they're not really things that are actually that important. I've talked about this before, things that feel urgent. And I learned this concept from Tony Robbins. It's like things that feel urgent aren't necessarily things that are important. And being able to differentiate between the two, and one of the systems that I developed to be able to do that is really just breaking down your overarching vision for your life, and really just the overarching essence of who you are. You can call it your soul consciousness, you can call it your divine essence. There's a lot of different language you can put behind it, but really just breaking that down into, or your genius, your unique expression of you, and breaking that down into what I call life types, which are essentially just archetypal expressions of you. And sometimes you may not necessarily know what those can be. Like for me, it's like being a creator, being a leader, being a teacher, and being a master of my craft and the things that I choose to do. And even within those, there's always complementary opposites. So like within the creator is the destroyer or the disintegrator. Within the leader, there's also the servant, the follower. Within the teacher, there's the student. Within the master, there's the apprentice. And so for me, once I was able to recognize these different elements, it was able to break that down into, within each one of these life types, within each one of these archetypes, what is the ultimate expression of that look like for me? And 2, what are the consistent actions, the consistent things that I can engage with that will continue to move me towards the ultimate expression of those things? And so when I broke that down, I was able to figure out for me that, create in the creator life type, the creator archetype was creating music. and I like to break these down into processes, which for me, a process is something that it doesn't really require that anything else happen. It's something that you more or less have complete control over. And so within the creator life type was creating music, because that's something that I have things set up to where I can just I can just show up and it's already there, it's already present, and I just install myself into that process. And being a leader, I was able to break that down into really like just connecting with people and developing relationships, whether that's my, personal relationships or my professional relationships and coaching. And then being a teacher, was able to break that down into actually like coaching people, helping people through their own processes, and then doing these podcasts or doing these videos, because essentially, this is an audio, it's a video. I can use it in a lot of different ways, and it's something that I can just like right now. So I can easily just turn this on and I can speak, I can talk, I can share, and it's a process to where it's helping me develop the skill as well as providing me an outlet to share. And then the master life type is for me as being an athlete, training. And so I know if I can be consistent with my training, that I'm going to keep moving in the right direction. Another way to look at it is like, what are processes, what are activities that I can engage with that will ultimately lead to the development of a skill that will lead to the development of mastery in any number of areas. And so again, all those things I just shared, those are all skills that are being developed that will, if I continue to practice them and there's the alignment behind them, because again, if you're doing shit you don't really like to do, then even if you do it for years and years and years, you're really not going to develop that high level of mastery, because there's no heart behind it. You're not really passionate about it. When you're not passionate about something, you're not really going to put your all into it to really take it to the highest level that it could be. And so when you break it down like that, it becomes pretty obvious which things that are like, this is me, this feels like me, this feels like things that I should be engaging with. And then you just create the structure of your day, of your week, of your month, of your year, of your life to support those things in the best way possible. And then at that point, you can just surrender to that process, because you know that the key things in your life are being accounted for. And so here we are. So that's what I wanted to share with you all today. Just a quick one today. Sometimes those are the best ones. Just keep it concise. So my pleasure to share as always. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, the journey is the way. See y'all soon.